Tuesday, could have just spun out. There we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's very nice to see you all here. I thought you might all be glued to the TV watching the Prime Minister's message and the news blurb after it. I didn't bother. If that makes me a bad Australian, I'm really sorry, but I'm about up to here with viruses and panics and toilet paper and whatever, so I thought I'd just ignore it and live in blissful ignorance until the morning news tomorrow. All right, so who have we got with us tonight? Estelle, Judy, Anne, Yvonne, Lorraine, I saw down here somewhere, didn't I? Yep, Lynette. Cool. All right. Okay, there we go. So I noticed some of you think you're at level whatever, and level, I've lost them, level 5, or I still had a roommate that was a level 1. It's going to be interesting to see exactly where you are in the levels of cheapskating, or the stages of cheapskating, because there's 5 that I've worked out, and they're all different. But the tricky thing is they're all different for everybody. So what's my level 1 may not necessarily be your level 1, because we're all at different stages in our journey to living a debt-free life. We all live different lifestyles. We all eat different foods, shop at different stores, have different ways to keep ourselves busy, different hobbies, different fun and entertainment. So while there's 5 stages, they can be quite broad in their interpretation depending on where you are right now at this time. And of course, everyone starts off as what I call spendthrift, because even if you're careful with your money, you still start off spending more than you need to, because if you weren't spending more than you need to, you wouldn't need cheapskates. So you want to learn when you're a spendthrift, and I think I've called them spendthrift extraordinaires, because there are lots of people we know who will blow through that pay packet before it even hits their bank. It's gone, and then they're destitute for the next week, fortnight, month, however long it is between pays. Right there. So we all know someone like that. We all know someone that lives from pay to pay. There's absolutely no money left. There's no, no emergency fund, no savings, no backup if, the front passenger wheel falls off the car and it goes clunk. Oh my, they're in trouble. We all know someone like that. They're spendthrifts. They're not savers. They're spenders, not savers. After a little while, though, if you really want to make a change, you suddenly become what we call level 1. You're fiscally conscious. So you become a bit more conscious of what you're spending. You don't necessarily stop spending, but you're a bit more conscious about it, about where the money's going, how much is coming in, what it's going on, when it's going. A lot of people at level 1, instead of actually cutting back their spending, choose to look for ways to make more money to cover balance. They're conscious of their budget. They like name brand things. Name is important. Brand is important. They're very brand conscious, but they buy it on sale. It's a bargain because I got it on sale. That's a level 1, fiscally conscious. Level 2's a bit of a bargain hunter. So they still like brand names, but they hunt for those bargains. They might look for a cheaper brand, but it's still a brand. So they might go from Nescafe to Moccona, or Moccona to Nescafe. I don't know which way that goes, but whatever, for their coffee. They'll still buy it on sale. But they're a bit more conscious of the price of the brand. Let me start again. They're a bit more conscious about what the branding is costing them. So they look for a cheaper brand, but they still like their brands. When you get to level 3, you're a baby cheapskater. You're a novice cheapskater. So you start to think about your spending. You start to think about tracking that spending. You may do it for a little while and give it up. You might shop with a list, or you make a list, but you might not stick to it for your grocery shopping. You'll start to move things. So you might start with washing powder and make the washing powder, or you might make miracle spray, or you might decide that you'll make your own yogurt because that's really going to save you a lot of money. And it will, and it's really easy. I don't know why everyone doesn't do it, but anyway. So, you know, for a novice cheapskater, they're still learning and they're all excited. And sometimes they try to do too much in the way of saving, cutting expenses, saving money, trimming that budget, and it becomes a bit overwhelming for them. So they tend to back off a bit, and they might backslide to a level 2 or a level 1. But they know what it's like to be a novice, a level 3, so they will come back. And I see that all the time, happening all the time. Then you've got stage 4 in cheapskating, champion cheapskaters. These guys have got it down pat. Now, there's quite a few of them in our merry little community, and they know how to pinch that penny till it screams. They buy ingredients, not convenience things. They know how to grow the things they need. They know how to mend their clothes. They'll choose to buy good quality and wait a while to save up for it, rather than buy cheaper quality and have to buy it 2 or 3 times. When they go op shopping, they look for quality. They might only pay $2 or $3 for it, but it will be a quality item, whatever they buy. It will be designer jeans. It will be a branded household item. They look for the quality for their money. They really try and get as much as they can out of their money. They're champion cheapskaters. So they're pretty good at mooing, and it's moo month. So, you know, they know how to do things. They've also realized that being able to do things for yourself not only saves you money, but it actually gives you a lot of security. We're seeing right now that people are going crazy because they're scared, because they don't know how to do things for themselves. They don't know how to make brown sugar, and they wouldn't have the ingredients to do it. They don't know how to, start a sourdough, and they wouldn't have the ingredients to do it. They're panic buying basic things without actually knowing how to use them. I was watching someone load up their trolley with flour, and someone else asked her what she's going to do with it. She was going to make bread, but it was self-raising flour. You don't make bread with self-raising flour. So she would have been able to make a good damper that works with self-raising flour, but your bread for your sandwiches and things, yeah, not so much. So a lot of people have been buying stuff that they think they need if they're caught in a crisis, they're flooded in or lose their job or whatever. They haven't really put a plan to it. They haven't really thought about it. Champion cheapskaters have that plan and work it, sit back and can relax. There's no need for us to worry. Some examples of the different levels through things that we make. For instance, the Cheapskates washing powder. A spendthrift will buy brand name washing powder because it's the one that grandma used or mum used, or because it smells nice, or it's got the prettiest coloured box or whatever. They just use the full scoop. Sometimes they'll heap the scoop. They don't bother measuring. A fiscally conscious cheapskate, by the other hand, will still buy the brand name, but they'll buy it on special, and they'll make sure they just use that level scoop. If it says on the box 1 scoop, they use that 1 level scoop. They'll make sure they level it off. They're not going to waste their money by overusing the washing powder. Level 2 is the bargain hunter. So bargain hunters buy on special. They'll look for it till it's, you know, really cheap. So there's a cheap brand name, and there is one on sale this week. It's $2, works out to $2 a kilo, but they'll only use half a scoop because they've wised up and they've realized you don't need to use that great big full scoop that they put in that box just because it's there. So they've wised up. They know half a scoop will get their washing clean. They'll still get the smell through it. They like the smell, but they buy it on special. Novice cheapskates, they're learning. So they've figured out that just because it's a brand and just because they buy it on special doesn't necessarily mean it's going to give them the best value for money, the best bang for their buck, that they're getting the best they can for it. So they will look around and they will choose another brand that does just as good a job but is cheaper. Or they might even take it a step further and switch to a generic. Shock, horror, oh my goodness, and use a generic laundry detergent. And they'll use a half a scoop of the generic laundry detergent and watch their laundry costs almost disappear over the course of a year. But champion cheapskates have a secret, and we know that we can make our own laundry powder. It costs around, it's gone up, the ingredients have gone up, so it costs you around $13 to $15 to make enough laundry detergent to do 1 load a day for a year. So that's even cheaper than buying the cheapest generic on sale. Well, generics rarely go on sale. Buying the cheapest generic and using a half a scoop. They've figured that out and they're really pleased with it because it still does the same job. My laundry detergent was tested by choice. It passed. It doesn't smell because I don't put a fragrance in it. You can if you want to, but it's added cost. If you hang your washing out in the sunshine, you'll get that beautiful fresh air sunshiny smell on it. You won't need to put anything else in it. Cheapskates washing powder works. So through the levels, through the stages of cheapskating, when it comes to washing powder, it's a gradual thing. And things like washing powder, tea, coffee, shampoo and conditioner, even toothpaste, they're all things that people are very territorial about. They have their particular kind and that's it. They're not going to budge come hell or high water. That's what they like. And that's fine because I like a particular type of tea and a particular type of coffee and I don't budge on those. I buy them when they're on half price sale and I stock up. I buy enough to see me through till the next sale or even the next couple of sales depending on how much is in the slush fund, because that's what I like to do. And I can do that because in the other areas of my cheapskating life, I've cut back and I've figured out that it doesn't really matter whether you have, you know, brand name pineapple slices. The Aldi ones are just as good as the Golden Circle. They all come from somewhere. They're half the price. So I'm saving a bit there. I'm saving a bit by making sure that I only fill up my car with petrol when it's cheapest. And then I put those savings away. Now, when we do that, we have a set petrol budget and we fill up. And I only fill up each fortnight these days. And when it's cheap and I've got change left over, that actually goes into our holiday account to pay for the fuel for when we go away. So it doesn't go into groceries, but that's another way that I'm saving, and it's something else that I can do without affecting our budget. It means we can go on a day trip, we can go away for the weekend, we can go for a drive and not worry about how much fuel we're using because we will have to top the car up. We've got that excess there to do it. Okay, Oh, wow, lots of comments. Okay. So, sorry, I'm just reading. Most people use lots of detergents and glue to make their clothes smell nice. I have a rule that I use in most things. Can I use half? Yeah, the rule of half. We all have the rule of half. It features heavily throughout our website, the rule of half. So for washing powder, it goes from brand name to making your own through the stages of cheapskating. Wherever you are in your journey at the moment, think about skipping a couple if you're stuck in the middle and jump straight to washing your own. You'll find the recipe for my washing powder on our website. You go to the Cheapskates Club and you'll find the recipe. Just type in Cheapskates washing powder in the search. It will pop up for you. If you look through the videos in the video library here, you will find the very first video I did was how to make washing powder. Another example is Cordial. Now, spendthrifts just buy it. They buy the most expensive brand in the prettiest bottle. Doesn't matter what the price is, they just buy it. They make it up according to the directions on the bottle and they drink it. And then they wonder why it doesn't go very far. If you are fiscally conscious, you'll figure out that you can buy the expensive Cordial, just dilute it by an extra half. So do 1.5 times the dilution. It doesn't make a lot of difference to the flavour. It makes a whole heap of difference to the sugar content, and it will stretch it just that little bit more for you. If you're a bargain hunter cheapskate, Cordials, you switch straight to generic. Doesn't come in a fancy bottle. You don't get the exotic flavours, but Cordial is Cordial. Novice cheapskaters, moo it. Now, that Cordial is so easy to do. In our recipe file, you will find 50-50 orange and lemon Cordial. You'll find raspberry Cordial. You'll find just orange, just lemon, all sorts of different Cordials in the recipe file. They're all really easy to make. Cordial is pretty much basically sugar syrup with fruit juice added. You might add a little bit of citric or ascorbic acid to it, depending on what the fruit is, but that's pretty much what Cordial is. So it's easy to make, and when, to be honest, when oranges and lemons are plentiful and we've got juice galore, I'm happy to make Cordial. We drink it, and it's good. I like to make the raspberry one for special occasions because raspberries are a bit expensive, but it's still cheaper than buying it. Cheapskaters, on the other hand, if you're a champion cheapskater, you'll just skip the Cordial altogether and drink water. Just plain water. It could be tap water. It can be tap water that's been kept in the fridge, so it's chilled. You might put a couple of strawberry halves and perhaps a slice of kiwi fruit in it, or some lemon quarters, or a bit of an orange slice or something to flavour it if you want to. But we just drink water, because water is, for drinking, water is virtually free, and that's tap water, folks, not fancy bottles. There is absolutely no point in buying bottled water. It is just ridiculously overpriced, stupidly overpriced. It creates issues with the bottles, getting rid of the bottles into the recycling and landfill. It's just dumb. In Australia, we have great water, great quality water. I don't think I've been anywhere where I haven't been able to drink the water. Yes, sometimes it does taste different to what I'm used to at home, but it's coming from a different dam, it's going through different pipes, it might be coming from a bore. So it's going to taste a little bit different, but it's still good water. So don't diss tap water. If you're really worried about it, go and get a water filter. The brighter jugs are, I don't know, $20 or something, and you can buy the refills for them. Not very expensive. A refill lasts about a month to 6 weeks, depending on how often you fill the jug. It will filter out most of the stuff for you. If you're really worried about what's in your water, you will have to go step it up a bit and get a proper plumbed in under sink filter. They're the only ones that will filter out fluoride. Your jugs don't filter out fluoride, but they do a pretty good job. But there's nothing wrong with drinking water. Iced water, anyone that's travelled in America will know, as soon as you sit down at the table, you're given a glass and it's filled with water. It should happen here more often. We shouldn't have to ask for a glass of water when we go to a restaurant. It should just appear for us, because water is good. And if you get into the habit of drinking water, you know, you'll get your 8 glasses a day without an issue. All right. Okay, can't keep up with the comments. Petrol. Yeah, petrol is coming down, folks. It's expected to hit $1 a litre. Once it hits $1 a litre, it'll stay like that for a couple of days and then it will jump back up. So if you're seeing cheap petrol at the moment, stock up. Take advantage and fill up. Even if you only need to get $10 worth, just fill up. Right. Well done, Julie. Yeah. Julie made a washing powder a month ago. Excellent. Okay. Oops. You don't get the fluoride from bottled water. No, you don't get the fluoride from bottled water. I've no issue with fluoride in the water. We didn't get fluoride in the water until I was a child. So I remember Mum giving us fluoride tablets to take before the water became fluoridated. Fluoridated, is that the word? Anyway, you know what I mean. But a lot of people don't like the fluoride in the water, and a lot of people react to fluoride. So if you want to get rid of it, do that. And you may not get the fluoride in bottled water, but you are paying about 2,500 times the price. A litre of tap water is around 1/100th of a cent. So, you know, do the math. It's under a cent for a litre of tap water. 1/10 of a cent? A cent for 10 litres. 1/100th of a cent. It's very inexpensive. Tap water is very inexpensive compared to bottled water. Water's always been more expensive, Judy. If you do the sums on a per litre comparison, water is really expensive compared to fuel. Hello, Joy. Hope your veggies are going well. The doorbell rang just before we came on, and there was a young fella there, and he said, "Excuse me, I'm not a salesman," because I've got a "Don't knock if you're a salesman" sign on the door, because I'm not very nice to salesmen. And wanted to know if I could throw his ball over. He'd kicked his ball over the fence. Off I went, found his ball, threw it over to him. And while I was there, I thought, I'll have a look and see what tomatoes are ready this afternoon, because when I was out this morning, I picked some. I picked more tomatoes. I don't think they're ever going to go away, but I'm really grateful to have them. Alrighty. Now, snacks. Oh my gosh, snack foods. Something spendthrifts just love. Absolutely, they just buy them. They'll buy the Mars bars. They'll buy the packets of chips. They'll buy the dodgy little, what do they call, Ferrero Rocher things in the little, no, not Ferrero, yeah, Ferrero Rochers in the little 3-pack and pay $3 when they're $1 each.
That's a 5-pack. Thank you.
5-pack, is it?
Yep.
5-pack for $3, so they're 60 cents each. Oh my goodness, for $3 you can do a whole batch of them yourself, and the recipe is on our website, folks.
No.
So, hello, Marie. Yep. So, spendthrifts, just buy it. because they like it. They see it. They have this, I see it, I want it, I'm going to have it mentality. If you've got a fiscally conscious spendthrift, cheapskate, sorry, they'll look for their favourites on sale and buy them. Bargain hunters switch to multi-packs because they figure out multi-packs are cheaper. Not always. Do your sums. Look at the unit price. Compare unit prices, folks.
Always shop unit price.
Yes, always shop unit price. That should be our new tagline. Always shop unit price. Yes, don't just take that sale sign as a genuine sale. It's just there to get you in. Always shop unit price.
On that note, Coles have their promo going with their barbecue chickens at the moment.
Do they?
You get a barbecue chicken and a 2-litre bottle of soft drink for the $10.
Well, there you go. If you wanted soft drink, that would probably suit.
It doesn't include the reduced chickens though.
Doesn't it?
No.
Well,
Puts them back up to the $10.
Does it?
Yep.
Wow. So you're better off buying your chicken and then your
soft drink.
Again, check your unit price. Did you hear that, folks? Coles are doing a promotion. If anyone's interested, buy a barbecue chook, get a free 2-litre soft drink.
Yep.
There you go. So it makes the price of your barbecue chook a bit cheaper. But still, always look for the markdown ones. If they don't have any barbecue chooks, get a rain check. Okay, lost where I'm up to. Oh, yes. Novice cheapskates switch their favourite brands to generics and they buy the bulk packs and then they portion them out. Now, we have all done that with our children. We've all bought big packets of Vickies or Sultanas or whatever, trail mix or whatever, and spent the time to put them into little zippy bags or little containers or something. We've all done that. And it does save some money. Champion Cheapskates move their snacks. We make pita chips. We make our own muesli bars. We make our own yogurt pots, our own pudding pots.
Joey just made a good point. No rain checks now because of all the panic buying.
Yes. Woolworths have cancelled rain checks and something else. Can't remember what else. I would say the rain checks have been cancelled because with Woolworths they usually give you a limit of 6 and it has to be claimed within 2 weeks to get it. So I'd say they've cancelled the rain checks because they can't guarantee that they will be able to fill them within the time before they expire. And if they let them go over, it's going to cause chaos when the stuff eventually comes back into stock. I'd say that is why Woolworths have done that. They didn't actually explain why, but that's all I can think of. Their supply chain isn't guaranteed that they will be able to fill the rain checks within the 2 weeks. DH takes cola to work in the morning sometimes. How can I get him to switch to big bottles portioned out? You won't be able to because it goes flat. And trust me, I can drink flat lemonade, but flat cola's bad at the worst. I don't drink cola at all, but flat would be just foul. No, perhaps look for, in that case, you're going to have to look for smaller bottles or cans on half price. And to do that, again, you watch your unit price because sometimes, even though they might say this bulk pack of cans is on sale, if you actually do the unit price, you're still cheaper buying the bottles, if that makes sense. Trust me, Wayne drinks Coke Zero. It's not Coke Zero anymore. What's it now? Sugar-free. No sugar, whatever it is. So I don't buy it. That comes out of his mad money. I refuse to support Coca-Cola in their terrible business. But anyway, so he buys it. But if it's on sale somewhere, I will tell him. Or if I see it, sometimes Aldi will have a special buy on it. Sometimes it's cheaper. in cans than it is in bottles. You need to know your prices. Hello, Glennis. Yeah. Portioning out a bottle of soft drink would be really difficult because you'd need to pour it into a flask of some kind. It would need to be insulated and it would need to have a really, really good seal, but it will lose the fizz. So it will just be revoltingly sweet, sickly water, and it won't take very long to go like that. Right, now, my husband asked me if I knew what supermarkets were for, explaining stock food. We quickly through World War III, our pantry. Here's the sea stock. I'm feeling patting on the back for my wisdom. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, do you know, having food in the cupboard, knowing that I can feed my family, I can keep us clean, I can keep our house clean, is my security blanket. Because I don't know what I would do if I got to the point where I only had a few days worth of food in the fridge and the pantry. I wouldn't know what to do. I just wouldn't know what to do. I don't know how people can live from day to day and just buy today what they'll need, and then stop on their way to work tomorrow and buy their lunch, and then buy their lunch and stop on their way home to buy their tea and have nothing in reserve. I don't know how that happens, because they're always going to get sick. There's always a chance they could lose their job. We're looking at people being quarantined for illness. You know, they could get the flu, they could get mumps, whatever. Anything could happen. And to have an empty pantry will be devastating. And yes, I know that you can do an online order, but lots of people are trying to do online orders now, and not only are they finding that they can't get what they want, the things they can get are so limited that it's not going to fill their pantry anyway. So there's that. And you could do Uber Eats or whatever, but that's really expensive and it's not so good. And I know that Coles will do deliveries and things for via Uber Eats, isn't it? I think Coles will do, you know, if you need a bottle of milk, you can get it delivered by Uber Eats, but it costs you $8 for the delivery fee.
The Coles milk, it's
and it's a branded milk, so it costs more. So it's a very expensive way to do. I don't understand the thinking behind not having food in the house. At least a little bit of food in the house. Just, I don't understand it. So, oh, I hate Coke with a vengeance, Glennis. Pepsi Max. Pepsi Max is often on sale. It alternates between Coles and Woolworths. IGA sometimes slip in a good special. It's cheaper than Coke, I think, isn't it, Pepsi? Yeah. So at least he's drinking the cheaper of the two, if that helps you. Yeah. So. Sorry, refused to buy at full price, only half. Yep. Flour, sugar, house runs on rainwater, 40-year-old solar hot water service, outdoor clothesline, small veggie garden. Way to go. I was going to say, in Australia, we don't import sugar. So if you buy generic sugar, you're buying Australian sugar. You don't need to pay for the different colour for the CSR or the Bundaberg or whatever. You're buying Australian sugar. Same with our flours, with our plain flour and self-raising flour, it's Australian. We don't import it. So it doesn't matter what name is on the package, it's still Australian. And there's only a couple of mills that actually process it, and it is just packaged into different brands. So to buy your Flowers, lots of people will say, oh, no, generic self-raising flowers, terrible.
No difference.
No difference. Same stuff, folks. All right. You know, was it? I can't see, sorry. I need new glasses. I will get them in a couple of weeks. JMC 19669. That's a mouthful. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. By all means, you know, share your lifestyle. Share your thoughts on budgeting. Share your thoughts on stockpiling, pantry, cooking from scratch, growing veggies, learning to make your clothes, op shopping, whatever. But until someone actually needs to hear the message, they often won't. And I think it's subconscious. I don't think it's conscious. I think it's subconscious. They don't hear it until they need it. When they do need it, though, they will remember that you said blah, 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 or you do blah, 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 and they might come to you for advice or help, or they'll look up on Google and find something. But it will eventually happen, but it won't happen to everybody. There is always going to be that portion of our society who thinks that they have to buy everything, that everything has to be the biggest and best and newest, that it has to have a brand tag on it, or they are not living a good life. They don't understand that we live a really good life without all that stuff. And well, no, actually, we've probably got a lot of that stuff. We just have bought it at rock bottom prices a different way so that we can live a really good life. You know, they don't understand that. So I never worry about people. I never worry about the whole world suddenly becoming cheapskates. It just won't happen, because there's always going to be someone that has to have the biggest, best, newest, most expensive, just for bragging rights, if for no other purpose. So you can lead a horse to water, you can't make them drink. All you can do is lead by example. All right. So Joy, my AP, who's a young male, we were discussing a stockpiling work, asked if he could stay with us if school was closed. I told him he's sleeping on a mattress in a room with car parts. At least you offered him that. I was chatting to some friends this morning, and one of them was quite perturbed because a family member had said they were so glad they're a part of her family, because if everything went pear-shaped, they'd just go and shop in her pantry because she had a big pantry. And she was really upset about that. And I would be too. It's the attitude of, you know, you've got it, I want it, I'll just take it. So while we have a pantry, it's to meet our needs. I haven't expanded it to meet anyone else's. But if someone came to me and was genuinely in need of something and I had it, I would give them one. I wouldn't give them the 10 bags that this other woman's family member took. 10 bags of groceries. Sorry, I'd be trying to figure out how I could get her scratched out of the family tree. She took 10 bags of groceries. She didn't offer to pay for them, she just took them. So I will help anyone. If you need help and you ask me, I'll do my best to help you. But by the same token, what I have is for my family. What you have is for your family. What, you know, Estelle has, or Joy has, or Judy, or Glennis, or any of us have, is for our families. We've planned ahead for whatever reason, and I have what I have because I just don't like grocery shopping. That's why I keep a stockpile. I don't like grocery shopping, so I can get it over and done with. Yes, I'm happy. So we planned, we worked out had a plan, worked our plan, and now we're living it. So if someone needs help, they can come knock on my door and I will help them if I can. But there is no way known I'm going to let anyone walk in and fill 10 grocery bags with groceries, especially anyone I know, because if I know them, they know that they should be having at least some backup groceries, even if it's just a box of Wheat Bix, tin of baked beans, a carton of UHT milk, and a jar of Vegemite or something. Something should be back up, and they know that. So if that was to happen and they were desperate, I'd sell it to them at what it cost me, but they'd have to pay for it. I keep my receipts, so we'd be able to work out how much each thing cost, but they would have to pay for it. It would not be free. And if that makes me mean, sorry folks, I don't mean to be mean, but I get very upset with people who take advantage, who tend to be a bit lazy or a bit, I don't know, airy-fairy or, laid back, and don't do anything and then expect someone else who hasn't been like that to help them out and support them for no reason, for no return. Yeah. A lot of people won't try generic products. Seriously, I don't have an issue with generics. I like generics. If they're cheaper, try it once. If you find something that's generic and you haven't tried it and you're not sure, buy one and try it once. If you don't like it, you don't have to buy it again, but at least you know. If you've never bought it, you've never tried it, you don't know. So you can't say you don't like it just because it's a generic, a home brand, a store brand, or whatever you want to call it. So everyone goes to Aldi and buys all the Aldi products. For the most part, they're generics. They are Aldi store brands. That's what a generic product is, a store brand. It's an across-the-board product that's got the store branding on it. People buy them. They don't think of the Aldi products as being generics, but they are. Okay. Hello, Tina Louise. Welcome. Okay. Brag away, Glennis. I think that's wonderful. I'd be bragging. I'd put a big sign up over the top, big sign up. I keep thinking that I should get, one of those open and close flashing signs. You see them at the reject shop or all over the $2 shops. Sometimes they're about $5 or $10 each. And I should put it up, when I go and do things from the shelves into the pantry. Stores open, stores closed. No. Just for me. No, says Hannah.
Just think of the electricity bill.
Think of the electricity bill, yeah. Okay. Okay. Yep. I don't have a problem with generic products or Aldi. Sorry, guys. Right. So we got sidetracked, and that's my fault. When you first start cheapskating, you're making a big transition. You're going from what you've always believed to be normal to something that is going to be quite abnormal for you. You're, buying things on full price to buying things for half price or less, shopping around, and if half price isn't cheap enough, you make it. So it's a big shift. It's a big lifestyle change, and it's an even bigger mindset change. You really need to think about it. Lots of people, it is a huge, huge step. And I think it's harder. It's harder if you want to do it. If you're forced into it, this is going to sound a bit backwards, but if you're forced into it, it comes as a big shock, but you just sort of suck it up and get on with it. If you consciously make the decision, there's always that bit of backwards and forwards and wavering where will I, won't I, shouldn't I, is it going to work, is it not going to work, can I be bothered, can I not be bothered, going on. So it takes a bit longer to get into the swing of things. But in saying that, it's awful being forced into it, and I hope it never ever happens to any of you, because it is just devastating. Now, we've gone through the 5 stages, and I mentioned earlier that they're all going to be different for everybody. We're all at different stages in this journey that we're on. So the 5 stages are going to be different, and they're personal. It's yours. It's where you're at. It's not where I'm at. It's not where Hannah's at. It's not where whoever's sitting next to you on the sofa is at. It's where you are at. It is personal. So what works for me may not work for you. You won't know unless you try. What works for Hannah may work better for you than what I've done. You won't know unless you try. We are always developing, constantly changing. We're in a constant state of flux. That's what we are. We're always changing. We're not stagnant. We're not dormant. We're not sitting still and just, stuck in the same old, same old. We're always changing, always learning, trying new things to do. I'm researching bank accounts at the moment to see which bank accounts offer the best interest. There's not much out there. And which banks, will suit us best with our banking needs for the next few years.
I think it is Bankwest at the moment with the best savings interest.
I think it is too so far.
Because ING's gone down.
But we're trying, I'm doing that. But it's changing for us. But our banking needs may not be your banking needs. So what suits us in a bank may not suit you. We're all different. And it is personal. It's personal to all of us. So we can't judge someone else. If we do something and it works for us, it works for our situation. We can explain to someone else about it and they can try it. But if it doesn't work for them, we can't judge them and they can't judge us, because we're in 2 different places and doing 2 different things. We live different lives. We, work different jobs, raise different families, go to different churches, have different community groups that we're involved in. We live different lives, so our needs are different. But we can share the news and we can share the information and get it out there so that people can take it. And I encourage everyone to take the bits that work and ditch what doesn't. We've done that for years. I've been saying that since 2001. We made a conscious decision to ditch the stuff that wasn't important to us so we'd have the money to spend on the things that were or are. So, yeah, everyone needs to do that. Just because someone else is doing it doesn't mean you have to. Doesn't mean it's right for you. Doesn't mean you even want to. If you just get carried along in the wave, jump off, duck under, swim backwards, do whatever. But if it's not important to you and you really don't want to do it, you don't like it, you don't enjoy it, ditch it. It's not going to hurt anyone. And it's going to make your life a little bit easier. Okay. Yvonne, my mum loved sardines on toast. Look. She would think that was a gourmet meal. If you gave her 2 slices of toast with sardines on, a little bit of squeeze of lemon over the top, she would be in heaven. She would have been in heaven.
No.
Yeah. So Jamie Lee's on tonight, guys. You need to jump over onto Cheapskates Chatter and read her post that she put up yesterday or the day before about how she's going with her mortgage. If you need inspiration for saving for a house or paying off your mortgage, look to that lady. She is a powerhouse. She is, I grin from ear to ear every time I see her updates. Just amazing. I am so blessed. I feel so blessed to have her as a Cheapskates Club member. Okay, workmates. Having eaten possum and rabbits as a child, we have no concerns about meat shortages in New Zealand. I sat there eating my homemade soup and ate KFC. Okay, I've never eaten possum that I know of. Had lots of rabbit in my lifetime. It was cheap meat when I was a child. And it was free. Dad would go out the back and go, and there was a bunny in the pot. So, rabbit stew, rabbit fricassee. It was just, yeah, rabbit was a cheap meal. So, Mum usually did it as a stew or a casserole, so it wasn't quite so dry.
Yep, no.
Okay.
I'd rather become vegetarian.
All right. Sorry, guys. I'm just kind of, you did the hard work, Janie Lee. Oh, my gosh. Rabbit is very hard to get now in the cities. You can special order it from a butcher. If you're in the country, it's not so hard. I'm still not a fan of it, though. But I guess, you know what? If I was starving, push comes to shove. I know Wayne, when we've been on Cape York, Wayne has eaten some weird things. I just stick to my, tin of tuna or my can of nut meat or something, and he can go off and eat his weird stuff because I figure I'm not hungry enough to try those things yet, but I'm pretty sure if I was starving, I'd enjoy it. So, All right, so time is where I bulk, multi-cook, shop, etc. 2 for the price of 1. Yep. Save money, save time, save energy. When I do pasta sauce, for instance, guys, I do a quadruple batch. So I use 1 kilo of mince, 4 cups of TVP, 4 onions, 4 tins of tomato soup, great big heaping handful of basil, a bit less of oregano, cook it all up, portion it out. That does 4 recipes. Now, out of those 4 recipes, each does 6 serves. So each week I have 2 serves left over that go into the freezer. When I have enough left, they become a lasagna or a pasta bake or pies. It takes maybe 5 minutes longer to do the quadruple batch, and that time is in the browning of the mince. So the next time we need pasta sauce, I just go to the freezer and take it out and defrost it. It's done. Same with meatloaves. If I'm doing meatloaf, I never do just one meatloaf. I never do just one recipe of rissoles or meatballs or anything. I'm going to stand there and roll them or stand there and shape patties. It has to be worth my time. And that's what we have a freezer for. So it just makes life easier. And I'm not even as busy as Joy. Joy still works full time.
You work full time.
I could work full time, could I?
You do work full time.
Well, I do sort of, but I don't do the travelling. Yeah. Anyway. So offal, yeah, I'm not a fan of offal either, but you know what?
Go vegetarian.
If you call crumbed brains polywaffles,
it's like lamb's fried now.
People don't eat it. Yeah, I'm not a fan of lamb's fry either, but
no.
If you're hungry enough, you'll eat it.
I'd rather go haggis than lamb's fry.
Haggis than lamb's fry. Did you hear that? She'd rather eat haggis than lamb's fry.
It's nice when they do it in Scotland.
Is that
a nice sauce or whatever?
I'm not cooking haggis.
Oh no.
Okay,
I
guys.
can get it in the can.
We've got our levels of cheapskating down. You've all got a fair idea. If you want to go back and check them, they're on our website for you. Hopefully I've explained a little bit about it, encouraged you a bit more. And have I missed anything? Yep. Just want to say, take each stage slowly and just remember, it's your stage. We are all at different levels of cheapskating. We're all living a different lifestyle in our Cheapskates journey. It's your personal journey, so do what you have to enjoy it. All right. I shall see you all on Tuesday. I forgot what night it was. Okay. If you've enjoyed tonight's show, please give us a thumbs up. That really does help us with YouTube rankings. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. And if you know anyone that you think might like to listen to me waffle on or learn a bit more about cheapskating through the video, feel free to share it with them.
The name of the lady with the mortgage?
Janie Lee.
Thank you.
Yep. So, all right, I'm going to go now because my cup of tea's gone cold. It's sitting over here. I made it just before I sat down and forgot to drink it. So I will reheat it. Oh, guys, did you see? Sorry, before I go, did you see today's newsletter? Did you see what Patricia does? Now, Patricia's sometimes on. I didn't see her tonight. Patricia does with her tea bags to make iced tea. Brilliant. And that's one I hadn't thought of. I have reused my tea bags, but not like she has. It's in today's newsletter, folks.
4 days for what? Joy.
Oh, yeah, like 1 day makes a big difference, Joy. 4 days of work.
Oh.
I bet you do more on your day off than you do when you go to work too. Alrighty, guys, I shall see you on Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining me. Just remember to hit that thumbs up down there. It's down there. I want that one, not that one. And I'll see you on Tuesday night. Have a lovely weekend. Stay safe and happy cheapskating.